Starlets, and welcome back to another spooky video. In today's video we are doing The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I'm super excited to do this one today. I've been looking at it on my ideas board of Halloween spooky nails to do, and I'm super excited to be doing this one. So with all that said, please do enjoy the video, and if you do, please do give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favourite Halloween film is to watch. I really like hearing all of your ideas on what to watch in this spooky season. So with all of that said, let's get on and do these Nightmare Before Christmas nails. Okay, so starting off with our first nail. First of all, I'm going to be going in with this glow in the dark gel liner, and I absolutely love these. And also we're going to use a little bit of purple with that and kind of blend them together. So first of all, going in with the blue, I'm going to do 2 coats of that on the nail. And if you're wondering, I picked these up from Amazon, and they come in a pack, and you have green and pink and yellow, and obviously the blue and the purple, and they are so cool. They're a little bit thick, as you can see. You do have to kind of shake them up a little bit to kind of get the glow power going. And then going in with the light purple, I'm just putting a little dab down the middle, and then going in with a sponge, I'm just going to dab that out just to blend it out a little bit more. Also, it doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to be putting a character over it, so you won't see it too much. And also with the power of top coat, top coats do help your blend out also, so that's always a plus. If your blending isn't really, up there, you can always rely on your top coat just to blend it that little bit more. Now I'm going in with just a normal dark blue gel polish. It's not glow in the dark, but I thought it would add a little bit of depth to the nail to make it a little bit more spooky, a little bit more dark, as this is obviously a Halloween set. And that is also why we're using glow in the dark, because the spirit of Halloween, you've got to make things glow in the dark. So that is all of the nails done. I've done the same process across all 5 nails, and there they are glowing. Super, super creepy. I love it. So the first character that we're going to do, of course, it's Jack. We're doing Jack Skellington on the first nail. So I'm just placing down where I want his face to go, and then just shaping his head onto the nail. So this bump here that I'm doing is one of his eyes, and he's got his head slightly tilted down, and putting the other eye in there. And then once I was happy where he was placed on the nail, I then can go ahead and start sketching out roughly where all of his features are going to be on his little skull face. So he's got big eye bones. That's weird to say. But yeah, he's got big eye socket bones going on. So I'm just sketching those out and softening the edges down, and at this point is where I start adding a little bit of shade too. So I'm just going in with a mixture of black and white, mostly white, to get that more grey look. You don't want it too dark just yet. You can always go back in later and add more black to that grey to add more depth to it. Okay, so now I'm very carefully and slowly going in and placing his eye shape down. I was a little bit nervous because he has got very prominent eyes, and I wanted to make sure that I got the shape right. First time round, I really didn't want to be going and wiping it off a million times. Because they're like, they're just black, they stand out a lot. It's like one of the the main features on his face, and for most characters actually their eyes are the main feature of their face. So you've got to try and get that as good as you can. So that is his face done, and now I'm going in and doing the rest of his body. So he wears a tiny little pinstripe suit, and I'm just doing the white of his shirt here, going in with the grey, adding the detail onto that, and also using the same grey and just doing the buttons down his shirt. Also, there was a little hair there, don't mind that. So now I'm going in with his bow tie, and his bow tie is actually a bat. So there's the ears there, and that's the bat's head. And now going in and making the wings of the bat. And at this point I'm just kind of trying to lay it down so that it's somewhat even and kind of looking like a bat-ish. And then going in and adding a little bit more black and adding those finer details in to the inside of the wings. I don't know what you would call that, the webbing of the wings. Is it a web? Yeah, because ducks have like webbed feet, don't they? And it's kind of like a bat's wing. So yeah, maybe the webbing of the wings. Filling that part in. And there we go, I added some highlights of white and some low lights with black, just to make it pop out that little bit more, because I didn't want it to sink away once we put his suit on. So talking of suit, I can now start plotting out his body. He's got a very, very tiny little waist, so getting that in is, you know, it was looking a bit odd, but he's a very skinny boy. I mean, he's a Skellington, what can you expect? So now I'm doing his arms, and I'm gonna have him kind of crossed armed, in kind of like a very relaxed, like, oh yes, I am Jack Skellington kind of pose. So there's that, and I'll add his hands in a little bit later. So now we can just go in and easy peasy, just fill that in, and just, I went ahead and just painted the whole suit black for the first part of it. I tried to leave the white edging on because he has got a pinstripe suit. The white outlines will help also with your pinstripes. So that's a top tip. Leave the white edging on. Okay, so he's all filled in, and now I can go over and just bring those white lines out that little bit more, and just add a couple in the middle to make his pinstripe suit. And yes, you'll need a very, very thin brush and a steady hand to do this part. If you'd seen my face while doing this part, it was pure concentration mode. And it's basically all the same thing, just following the lines, trying not to get confused and put the lines pointing in the wrong direction or anything like that. And just keep going, making those lines. They don't have to be perfect. As you can see, some of mine are thicker than others, but once it's all together, it all works out just fine. And doing the last lapel on his blazer, suit jacket, whatever you want to call it. And that is his suit done. And I thought just to add a couple of glow-in-the-dark stars, like a whimsical kind of look to it just behind him, just to fill that area out a little bit more. So I'm using the same glow in the dark stuff that I used at the beginning, but this one's obviously the yellow that I was talking about that you can get in the pack. And that is Jack Skellington done. And here he is glowing. Very, very spooky. Okay, on to the next. I've already laid her out. If you can guess who this is, if you're a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, you'll know already. But I had troubles doing this one. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely did have troubles doing this one. So of course this one is Sally, and the troubles that I had was because I was so used to working on Jack a minute ago, being very monochrome, black and white. So going on to colour, I was like, oh my goodness, I don't think this is gonna look right. Like, is it gonna throw off the whole set? Did I choose the wrong character to do? Should I have done his little dog? But I think it worked out okay in the end, but it definitely did. I was a little bit hesitant to begin with her, because she has so much colour on her. I was just worried that she was going to throw off the whole set, even though she shouldn't, because she is part of it. Yeah, I thought it was going to throw off the set. So I'm just going in and laying all the base colours down, and her hair. And I did kind of jump along because, as I said, I was feeling very nervous about her. I wasn't sure whether I was going to keep her in or not. But once I'd got her face down, I was like, okay, yeah, she can stay in this set. I was so close to just starting another nail and doing a different character or something, because I wasn't sure. But I think I'm okay with her at this point now. So we're just going for it now. So I'm just laying down all her colours that she has on her dress. She's wearing this kind of raggedy patchwork dress. Yeah, styling it. So yeah, we're just, adding down all the colours to her patchwork rag dress. And yeah, then we can go in and start adding the stitch work, because it is all very visibly stitched together. So she hasn't been doing very good stitch work in hiding her stitch lines. But it's okay, it's a good style, everyone loves to see a good blanket stitch on show every now and again. So now bringing down her dress. And the last colour down here. And as I said, on to the outlining now. So we can start bringing her dress to life a little bit more, showing that patchwork detailing that it has on it. And she has these raggedy edges on the corners also. So they're kind of like pointy edges on the ends of her sleeve. And obviously some patches also have pattern work on them. So on the top right red section, she has like swirly whirlies in there, if that's even a word. She has swirly whirlies, so I add those in too. And here we are doing a little blanket stitch here. And now adding in those swirls of the pattern that is on that patch. And there's no rhyme or reason. I didn't feel the need to have to carbon copy every swirl that is actually on her dress. And that's the spiky edges I was talking about earlier. And you're probably wondering, where are her arms? Where are her arms? That was a really weird sentence to say. Don't ask why, I struggled with it. I thought I'd lay down her dress first because she is going to be having her arms in front of her, holding a rose. There we are, there they go. And I just thought it would be easier to get the dress done first, so we could just lay the arms over it. And this hand that she's holding up right here, she's going to have a rose in her hand. And just doing some stitches on her arms. And just adding some final finishing touches to her before I put that rose down. Always work on the background before you start going forward. So that's again the same with the arms. Work on the background before you add something over it, so that you know that that bit's done. Just adding the green stalk to the rose. And there she is. Just a nice final top coat on her, and she is absolutely done. And I'm okay with her in the end. She can stay in the set. There she is. Okay, so on to the next one. This is going to be a duplicate nail, so meaning there'll be two of this nail. And that will be the thumbnail and the pinky fingernail. That will be the same. So here we're doing a scenic nail, and this is a little heel. I'm keeping it very wishy-washy and scratchy in a way, on purpose to make it look that little bit more rustic. And now we are adding in a fence, more of just kind of a silhouette scene, to kind of make it that little bit more spookier. So you won't see the other nail that I do. It's exactly the same as this one, but it is flipped. So the other nail, the heel will be pointing in the other direction, and you'll see them both together once I'd finished this nail. So I'm just adding those highlights onto the fence line there. Just adding some squiggly digglies of like roots or whatevers that are on the ground. And here we're doing a little tree in the corner. If I feel like Bob Ross now. We're just gonna add a little happy tree to the side here. Just, you know, easy peasy, little happy tree. Just a little twig there, a little twig there. Very Bob Ross. There's no mistakes here, just happy accidents. Okay, so now this bit's fun because I'm putting the glow-in-the-dark pigment down. Not pigment, it's a gel. And then we're going in with a non-glow-in-the-dark orange, and we're making little pumpkins. So we're just going around, putting the eyes in, and bibbidi bobbidi boom, you've got a pumpkin. Absolutely revolutionary. I was impressed with it. I was like, oh my goodness, I've got to use the glow in the dark on the pumpkins. So those are really super easy pumpkins. Make sure you cure them before you go into doing your black detailing. So obviously do your glow in the dark, cure that, go in with your orange, cure that, then do your black, because if you put your black on that orange, you're going to end up with a very muddy puddle on the ground. So it's very super easy. Don't worry about it too much. Happy accidents, happy pumpkins. So we're just adding the eyes in and just, you know, showing that they've got their eyes. And there we are. And that one is done. And on to the last nail. we are going to be doing the Nightmare Before Christmas letter work. It takes time. I always go in and do this is my sketch. So I always go in with very little gel polish on my brush and just sketch it out onto the nail. So basically, yeah, write it on the nail as best as you can. Just to test to make sure that it's gonna fit. And if it doesn't all fit on, then you could just wipe it away, move them over, or squish them a little bit tighter together and try again. This one does come close. You'll see we're doing the A now. We need to squeeze that S onto the end there. I think I can get away with that. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm leaving it the way it is because letter work is hard and Christmas is a very long word to put on a nail. So we're going to leave that little squeezed on S there on the end. So then I go back in after curing it, once I'm happy with it, I go in and do another layer of it, and then I put white around it to make it pop. And there they all are together, and here they are glowing. And pow! That is the end of the video. If you did enjoy today's video, please do give it a big thumbs up and leave it a comment down below. And if you've been watching my videos lately and you're enjoying them, please do think about subscribing. It really helps the channel out. And don't forget to turn on that bell notification button. And with all that said, happy creating. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.